Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I'm all set up for the, we have a rehearsal today and I'm all set up for that. Wait a minute. This is not going to work out well for me because I'll do that later. This is going to fall. Hold on 1 second. Okay. 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 I can see you guys. You're all up on my big TVs. And so it's cool. So, oh, Sarah, let me make you co-host. Unmute all. All right. So, yeah, it's cool. Like we're ready for tomorrow. Oh, hey, Josh.
Hello.
Hey, we have our challenge for half an hour and then we'll jump in. But,
Okay.
wave to everyone, Josh. So that's Josh. He's our AV guy. He's going to be running the show tomorrow for you guys
Hi,
that are.
Josh. Good to see you.
He's awesome. So, welcome everyone. We're all set up for tomorrow, and we're having a rehearsal right after this. So I want to jump right into the material and answer any questions because we're going to end right at 1:30 today because we have a big rehearsal and our whole team's coming for tomorrow. So we put on a good show for you guys tomorrow, for you guys that are joining us. And so, what? I can't hear you. Yes, Maud. What, Maud, you're pointing to me.
I was pointing to myself, but I'm coming tomorrow.
Yay!
It's January, I believe.
Yeah, a lot of you are coming tomorrow, and we're really excited. We have our t-shirts on today. Sarah has her t-shirt on. I have my t-shirt on. A lot of you guys ordered some t-shirts. They're like the most comfortable shirts. Sarah will give you the link again. And listen, we still have some tickets available for tomorrow. If you do want to come, Sarah will put that link in. And if you're unable to attend tomorrow, and you would like to talk to Sarah about working with Actors Fast Track, or I know that Kayla, I'm looking at you right there. After we're done with this, Sarah will be reaching out and talking to your school about me coming there and talking to your school for you guys that are still in acting school. I know we had that discussion. So Sarah will read that. And Angela said she loves her shirt. Thanks, Angela. Anyway, so Sarah will give you all those links in the chat. Okay. So I want to talk about something yesterday that happened with one of my clients. So one of my clients attended one of these casting directors Instagram lives, and he came away from that feeling very despondent and like giving up in his acting career, and like it's not worth it because the stuff that this person was talking about was how there's so many co-stars and so many people, you know, submitted for those things, and it was all sort of like a doom and gloom message. And you know, these casting directors, as we so for you guys that were in LinkedIn 3 yesterday, we had this conversation in LinkedIn 3. Mara, who's at South by Southwest right now, who teaches LinkedIn 3, said that one of the biggest casting directors in the business had come to her and said, what are we going to do now? We're losing our jobs. What are we going to do now? And so, you know, first of all, the thing that I told my client is remember what Reese Witherspoon said. Reese Witherspoon said there's 3 kinds of people in the world. There's people that rise you up. There's people that are neutral, that don't mean anything to you. And then there's people that pull you down. And you need to only put yourself around the people that rise you up or the neutral people. So one of the things that I talked to my client about yesterday was, if you are feeling sad and you go to these events and you're listening to these people talk and you leave there feeling despondent, you should stop going to those events. You should stop putting yourself around people that make you feel like your pursuit of your acting dream is hopeless and it'll never work out. I also met with another client yesterday who has some really big credits, including she danced with Michael Jackson. And there was a, she had gotten the breakdowns from, the submission report from her agent. And one of the submissions that she was submitted on literally like 3 days ago was to do, a Jennifer Lopez project. And she'd actually worked with Jennifer Lopez, and she was just depending on her agent's submission to get her the audition. And I was like, no, 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 no. What you need to do is you need to go to that casting office and you need to pop your head in. You need to say, hi, my agent submitted me for this Jennifer Lopez project. You know, I danced with Michael Jackson and I worked with Jennifer Lopez, and I wanted you to meet me face to face because I'd really like to get an audition for it. If you want to be one of those, as that casting director was, you know, the one that helps actors, and I use that very loosely, as she was saying on her thing, is that, you know, that there's all these co-stars and there's so many people submitted and you're never going to get, you're never going to get seen if the only thing you're depending on is an agent submitting you. If that's what you're depending on to get an acting career, you're going to be waiting a long ass time. You have to play a bigger game than you're playing. You have to get in front of bigger people. And, you know, if you're lucky enough to get some sort of submission report or even have a meeting with your agent and you find out, like, you know, tell me about the last 10 things you submitted me on and who were the casting directors and what was the project. That would be a really smart thing to ask an agent if you were having a meeting, because then you could say, oh, right, she would have never known that she was submitted on this J-Lo project if she hadn't asked that question for a submission report. And you don't have to get the whole submission report from your agent. You can just literally ask your agent, hey, you know, would you let me know what's the last 10 things you submitted me on? Who was the casting director and what was the project? Because if you continuously get submitted by your agent for the same casting office and you're not getting called in, that's your fault, because you have not built a relationship with that casting director. You've got to go build a relationship with that casting director. And on top of it, building relationships with directors, producers, and writers. Okay. So I really want you to get that, you know. And so anyway, my client stopped by the casting office. The casting director wasn't there, but she got over her fear. And now this morning, she put together a pitch video for that casting director to say, hey, I stopped by yesterday because I worked with J-Lo. I danced with Michael Jackson. I think I'm perfect for this project. I would love to be seen for it. I know my agent submitted me. So she's just backing that situation up. You know, some of my clients in America are signed with Aqua Talent. A good amount of my clients are signed with Aqua Talent. If you're signed with someone like Courtney Peldon and Aqua, and she's actually picking up the phone and pitching you, then you don't have to worry about that as much. But like, they're actually getting 4 and 5 auditions a week. If you're getting 4 and 5 decent auditions a week from your agency, then your focus needs to be on directors, producers, and writers. That needs to be where your focus is. Okay. So I wanted you to be really, really clear about that. and the reach outs that are concerned. Okay. So we're going to get into some stuff tomorrow. We're going to have some people for you to meet tomorrow, so you can ask some questions of those people. Yeah, Sarah, is there anything that I'm missing before I open the floor for some questions, the remaining?
Discount code is TikTok 10. If you are buying a ticket, today is the last day to get a ticket. Tomorrow might be crazy. It is 10 a.m. in Pacific. Oh my gosh, 1 p.m. in Eastern, 6 p.m. in UK time. Sorry, that question just came up. That's the start time tomorrow. I just posted the link to buy a t-shirt. I posted the link to buy the tickets, and I posted the link if you want to schedule a time with me. And I'm actively putting more time on my calendar right now because you guys have been filling me up. I think that's it.
Okay,
Right?
great. Yeah. You know, I want to say that it's been my great honor to work with you guys the last 2 weeks. You have been so active. We are going to have some winners that we announce tomorrow from the challenge, and we're going to give away some prizes for those. And but you guys have really been really great in your participation. You all get a participation trophy, and you've really inspired me, and you've helped me become a better human. Like, I mean that, because yesterday it was really clear to me that the more that our business begins to break down, that the people that are going to get the brunt of it are actors. And it's always been my objective to build a group of actors that were smart, business savvy, had a super amount of confidence, and could go about their acting careers and run their business. That's always been my objective. And now more than ever, it's really important that we are like that. Because as people begin to lose their jobs and the business is adjusting, they're going to take it out on actors, because we're who they always have taken it out on. And so I just want you to know that I always have your back. I mean that, like, I'm never gonna not have your back. And I just want you to know that I really have your back, and I really appreciate you participating. You've been really inspirational to me, and thank you so much. And so anyway, let's take some questions. Yes, Miss Disser.
I just need to say to everybody first that I've been online for 2 years looking at classes and people and Instagram lives and yada, yada, yada. And you are the most generous person out of anybody in this crazy world that we're in, that gives your time and consideration to us actors for free. Like, I've learned so much a year and a half ago from you without paying you a dime. And I just want to say thank you, because you're amazing. And nobody does this. Nobody does this but you. You know that, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because
I have to agree with you. Absolutely.
Yeah. And, Laura, and
Amen.
now Laura is a customer, and, and you are a phenomenal customer. We love having you. And I loved the conversation that you and I had in your coaching session the other day, because I think that this is a great example, Laura. Like, I'm just trying to get Laura to book her first TV shows. And so we're opening up the brand a little bit. We're not like so focused on the brand. Sometimes we need to open it up, because I know that you have a marketability to get, to book like, just like a lot of co-stars, and get residuals going. I'm looking down here, because check this out, y'all. This is like the checks that I've gotten so far this year. This is the checks I've gotten so far this year from my acting career, right? And I just got like $120 worth of checks this last week. And you want that, and so that could be just from doing a co-star, or a film or whatever. And, you know, that's good because you have money coming in and you start to actually make money as an actor. So thank you for saying that, Laura. And I love having you as a client. So
Yeah.
thank you.
So I just want to say I did something a little, or you probably won't think it's unorthodox, but I was on Production Weekly yesterday and I'm looking through the thrillers because, you know, I love those.
Yeah.
And there was a movie called Relay, and Abby Kaufman, who I've been in contact with, and I know opens my emails, is CD. And then there was David Mackenzie, who's the director. So I go to IMDb, research the shit out of it like I always do. And I see that David Mackenzie was born on the exact same day I was born. We're the exact same age. And then I see that they're producing it on April 17th, and that's my son's birthday. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So I write to Abby and I said, I just saw that this was being produced. And I told her about the birthdays, and I said, I like me a little good juju once in a while. So I'm thinking that we should just keep this, this train going and, maybe read for this production or whatever. So, and then, oh, by the way, here's my latest music video.
That is so good. Awesome.
So I know she opened it a couple times, whatever. Haven't heard anything back, but I thought you would dig that because, and it's not like I threw it out there to just the random person. I've been in contact with her for a year and a half, and I had an audition with her a long time ago. So
do you find his Mackenzie? Can you find anything about him?
David Mackenzie? Yeah, he's a pretty big director. He's actually from England or Wales, one of the two. He's had a lot of different shows and a lot of different movies. So
Did you find any contact information for him?
Not yet. Mm-mm.
Okay. See what we can do.
Okay.
See if anyone like Rocket Reach, or we can find that. Violetta might have it. Violetta, I'm sure she's on here. She might have it. She's got a lot of
she's got everybody.
She does. She has everyone. So check that. Okay,
Okay.
cool. Thanks,
you.
Laura. Maud.
I wanted to ask a question if you could look at my third pitch, because this is the first time I said the director's name. Stupid cat. And I'm a little bit nervous about the reaction for that.
Yeah, I will definitely try to do that. I'm gonna rest a little bit after our rehearsal today, but I'm to get ready for tomorrow. But I will definitely try to look at it in there for you.
And I hoped I could start with Actors Fast Track in April if school is like decent. Do I then have to email Sarah at actorsfasttrack.com?
Yeah, yes. If you want to do the but you'll hear about that tomorrow, and yeah, awesome. We're excited to get you. All right, thank you, Maud. Mary, hi, Mary.
Hi, I have I'm sick, so I don't want to go on camera, but
Oh, you also have dolphins. Are pretty.
oh, thank you. I like my favorite animal. So I have two questions. One is that in the general pitch video, what is the ask?
Sometimes the ask, Mary, is I should be looking in the camera, not at you over here on the big screen. Sometimes the ask is just, hey, we've never met, and I just want you to know who I am. Okay. Sometimes the ask is, you cast a lot of different shows that I'm right for. These are what I tend to play. And Mary, to be like, I would love to, I think your brand needs adjusting, to be honest. Like, I think that you have this like Mary McDonald thing going on a little bit. Like, you're in New York, right? Mary, are you in New York?
I am in New York, yes.
Yeah. So I feel like you have more of this, like, I get the Amy Adams references and stuff like that, but I feel like you would open up your castability a little bit if you went for more of that detective kind of thing. Like, I feel like that's
Detective,
yeah.
I could see myself doing detective, like a Mayor of Easttown kind of detective versus a shiny detective.
Yeah,
Okay.
I also think that you do have the Amy Adams thing, which gives you a little bit of ABC vibe. So I think that, like also like King Size, productions who did like The Good Wife and that stuff, which has got more of a sheen to it, is really good for you. Because you do have that kind of more like I have like that lighter sort of ABC thing, rather than the darker kind of more gritty.
I will
Uh,
say, I will say this, like, I know that 100%, sorry, I'm going to go on camera being, a lot depends on what I do with this hair, which I find frustrating and annoying to have realized, like, that's half of why people tell me what they tell me when they say what they want to cast me as. And I'm like, oh, okay. But no, I just need to pick one to focus on at the beginning,
Yeah.
right? And
Well, I mean, yes, it's kind of like what I said to Laura the other day. It's like, for you guys that are just trying to like, especially like more middle-aged women that are trying to get their foot in the door in New York, like, I feel like you want to open it up a little bit. Like, you don't want to be so specific, because there's a lot of castability for you. So you kind of you do want to have, like with a lot of my clients, you guys, I'm not like having them like be like always with the branding statement. The branding statement is to understand what vibe you give off. And really, so you begin to understand like how to present yourself. Or like if you're going in for the nurse, right? And say it's a co-star nurse on, New Amsterdam, and that you're the ballsy broad, like I'm the ballsy broad. And the line is, hey, doctor, you've got a phone call, right? If you're more the particular person, if that's the vibe you bring and that's kind of the vibe, then you're like, doctor, you have a phone call. If you're more the ballsy broad, you're doctor, you have a phone call, right? And so understanding the deliverability and what you tend to get cast in can help you in that regard, right? But I don't I usually want to start with personality. Like, your personality should show up who you are, without you're going to really back it up. Like, Parik yesterday did like a video. I don't know if you guys saw it, and he did what I told you guys maybe could do. He interlaced it with some scenes, right? And I thought that was a great idea because it really showed what he was talking about. It supported what he was talking about. So basically what I'm saying to you, Mary, is it's like, I don't want you to get so stuck in having to be one thing for you. Now, I might talk to someone else and say something completely different because they might be a young, pretty white girl. And for those girls, a lot of times I need to like get them really specific and niched out so they rise to the top. But for someone that's a little older, people are going to know what to do with you in about 5 seconds, I think. I don't think that you need to tell them as much.
all right, that's good to hear, because I feel like for years they've been like, you tell me what you want to do. You've done all this stuff. I don't know where to stick you. And I'm like, how do you not know where to stick me? Like, sorry, but
well, I mean, and it's probably, look, it is about you also having clarity, because if you're hearing that a lot, then I mean, but I had clarity, and the best manager I ever had said, I'm not sure what to do with you. And I'm like, well, I know what to do with me. You just manage. And I showed him what I could book. Right. So yeah, I mean, I think it is about you directing the ship.
okay.
Yeah.
My other question had to do, and then this I think might help other people for you to answer, is that years ago I worked with a coach and she had us call these agencies after we'd done 7 touches with them. And like, one was an agent that had responded to one of my touches and was positive about it, and I felt good about calling the office. And then it was a very horrible experience when I called. Like, I was literally yelled at and shamed for picking up the phone and daring to call them.
Yeah.
And it really messed with my head. And like, like in the moment of that and in the wake of that, like, what do you suggest the best reaction or way to deal with that in the moment would be?
The best reaction is to pick up the phone and call the next person. When you
Okay.
get bucked off a horse, you get right back on the horse. People have bad days and people feel like they can take it out on actors. Does it happen that much? No. Has it happened? Yes. One time I had, so the way that I launched my career in the very beginning was I would write 10 letters a week. And at the bottom of the letter to casting directors, I would say, I'd like to set up a general interview with you. I'm going to give you a call next week to set it up. So I would call all the 10 people I wrote the week before. And inevitably, someone would say to me, you shouldn't call a casting office. I'm like, okay, thanks. And then, and so I didn't really, it's an art where I still fall prey to of allowing people not to affect you because their problem has nothing to do with you. And what their bad day has nothing to do with you. So, at the same time, a lot of people call all the time and don't get yelled at. So, I just think, listen, I'm just trying to set up a meeting. I'm sorry you're having a bad day. My name again is, and if you're interested, give me a call. You be the adult. If someone is,
Okay.
that's something that I always have to remember, like to be the adult, because sometimes I want to get down in the mud with them when they become a bully. I want to get in the mud with them. And every time I get in the mud with them, I regret it. So instead, I want to come from a place of grace. I want to come from my heart as much as possible. But when you're in sales of any kind and any kind of business, you're going to get rude people on the phone. Or you're going to get a rude answer. I mean, I literally had the casting director from In the Line of Duty write one of my clients a 3-paragraph letter about how busy they were. They didn't have time to hear from every actor, on and on and on. On the very last sentence, they said, if we have a part for you in next season's Line of Duty, we'll call you in. And it's like 3 paragraphs about how busy they were. If you were that busy, you couldn't write 3 paragraphs. So, yeah. So, it is what it is.
Thank
All
you. I
right.
appreciate that.
You're welcome. Muley, come on down.
Hi. So my question is, since you've worked with a couple of South African actors, what advice did you give them to help further their national and international acting goals?
Well, I mean, the one girl that I worked with the most in South Africa works all the time in South Africa. So basically, she just moved from Johannesburg to Cape Town because it was a better move for her. As far as like, there was more work there. And the same thing I'm doing here and in the UK and in Canada, wherever I have clients, it's like business is business. It doesn't matter, Obviously, some countries and some governments and some businesses are a little bit more shady than others, but it's still business is business. Business is the same. And so I always tell people, start in your own backyard. And then from there, you can, like she did a bunch of films and TV shows that were shot in South Africa. And from that, she was able to make relationships that went on to help her make relationships in America, in England, and those kind of places. So that's what I would tell you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Kayla, hi.
Hello. I'm not sure if this question's been asked before, but it's just because I've got a load of written stuff coming up soon. Is there any sort of deadline where we can't be doing the assignments anymore, or can we keep doing them? Because I might be having to do.
I'm not going to be, yeah. I mean, you can put them on there, but at some point, like I can't be, I have to obviously pay attention to my clients, I will do my best to be on there. And if you tag me and send me something, but it's only fair. Yeah, I do these free events 3 times a year. I do a webinar every month. I try to do as much as I can that doesn't cost you, but then I have to pay attention to the people that are paying me. I mean, that's just business, right?
Yeah.
And so they get my priority. And so I go to them. And so if I'm on there and I have time and you want to tag me, I mean, I'm happy to keep it alive. Sometimes Sarah will be on there and sometimes Scott will be on there. And sometimes of the clients, I saw Maggie was on there giving some great advice. I mean, Maggie certainly can give advice. She's got a shit ton of credits, top of show guest stars. She knows what she's talking about. So, there's some clients on here that are giving good advice because they're working, right? Like Tosh might give you guys a couple things. He's a recurring on Bel Air. He's working. So, these guys are just trying to help you. And I don't, I never want anyone to attack you. I just want people to give you constructive help as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wanted to give me advice, that'd be great. Just,
okay.
I've got some written assessments due, so.
Yeah, good, Kayla. Hey, I'm going to hop over to Melissa because Melissa, I watched her video. Did you see my notes, Melissa Robbins?
I did. And I first off wanted to say thank you so much for everything that you do. I mean, you are truly amazing and I appreciate you so much. So thank you for that. My next question was, I've met with the casting director of Blue Bloods twice. And I wanted to know what your thoughts were on, I know they're casting now, and I'd like to send that pitch video to her. I'm just wondering if it's not ready yet, or obviously I have to put it on like a better background because I was doing it in the apartment in New York City.
I think you need to put it in, shoot it, horizontal and do it like you would if you were doing a self-tape for Blue Bloods, because, you can show her you have the capability to do that. I think you are so perfect for all of those shows. You are Kathy Moriarty. I mean, like you have such a great voice. Do you do voiceovers?
No, but I want to. I just don't have all of the equipment, so I need to figure out how to get that, because isn't it like expensive?
Okay, no. Okay, if you guys want to figure out like the beginning of voiceover, my good friend Tish Hicks, she has a company called the VO Dojo. She has a company called the VO Dojo. You can do her So You Think You Can Do voiceover class. It's an intro class. It gives you like all what you need to do to put together your voiceover. Tell her you're an actor's fast track person, even if you're not a client, tell her that, and you'll get a discount, I think. So just tell her that and she'll hook you up.
Wow.
So that's a good class. I mean, she's like me. She's been a working actress for a long time, and she's a working voiceover actress that makes like multiple 6 figures a year. So she's great for that. Yeah, I highly recommend her class.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You guys, I hate to do this to you. I'm sorry, Issa. I'm sorry, Melanie. I'm sorry, Tal, but we have rehearsal for our event tomorrow. So we love you guys so much. Thank you for joining us. If you cannot make tomorrow, like I said, next Thursday, the 16th, we are having a webinar with James Hallett. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I always decide the thing. I'll decide the thing early next week, what I want to talk about with James. And we're going to have a discussion. That's our next free event. And then we are going to probably do some other events. So be on the lookout in your email. We'll be letting you know what's coming down the pike. We're going to do, and as we move into June and July, we're going to start talking about how to get an agent or a manager. So for you guys that are wanting to do that, be on the lookout for that. All right. Thank you so much. I love you so much. I really appreciate you all being here. And I will see you all soon. And maybe I'll see a lot of you tomorrow. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Valerie. See you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Valerie.